Have you ever heard the expression, you have to choose between your face or your ass? If you haven't heard that before, essentially what it means is as you age, if you maintain a trim physique, you're also going to maintain a trim face, which usually results to one that looks not plump, not youthful, because you're trim. Or you maybe aren't so trim, you don't maintain your physique, you don't maintain your ass, and your face does look younger because plumper faces look younger. And let me tell you, I'm gonna go down kicking and screaming because I want both. I want a good ass and I want a good face. I wanna also age naturally. I do not wanna look like a cat. I'm not gonna look like a cat. I'm not gonna pay to look like a cat. And when it comes to that, in my goals that I have, PRF is an awesome option. But there's things that you've gotta be aware of. This is not a one and done treatment. A lot of the treatments I'm after are not one and done because they are supporting me in aging gracefully, which is my goal. I don't want too much synthetic material in my face. You get the point, you get the point. Many people I've talked with have never heard of this, but this is one of those treatments I'm so glad I was consulted on and encouraged to get, as my under eyes, as with everyone's under eyes, is one of the areas of my face I see rapidly aging. And that's really because the under eye area is the thinnest area of skin on your entire body. As it thins, we see greater dark circles, we see crepiness, and it's very telling of our age and our experience. And I have gotten under eye filler probably about 4 years ago, and when I got it done, I loved it. I mean, it really addressed my dark circles. But filler is very expensive. And also more and more research is coming out around how every body metabolizes filler differently, and it may shift in the face in different ways and in ways that we don't want to. And now I'm not putting filler off the table entirely for the rest of my life, but I'm looking to treatments like PRF to help reduce the aging process for my under eyes. So in this video, I'm gonna get into what PRF is. I'm gonna share my experience with you and some things that you want to know ahead of getting this treatment, if you're looking to get this treatment. Because I've seen a lot of videos online by plastic surgeons and different providers, but I haven't seen many videos on people's experience. If we haven't met before, my name's Rachel, and I've realized that I'm really passionate about learning about things that my future self will thank me for. And a lot of times that's beauty related because the little things we do day in and day out can make a dramatic impact on our looks. So think of me as your girlfriend that's sharing the latest things I'm learning that's intended to help me and my future self so that you can help you and your future self too. What's PRF? What's platelet rich fibrin? Well, first we need to discuss what fibrin is. In basic terms, it's what platelets bind to as they circulate throughout your blood. When platelets bind to fibrin, they release growth factors, which help to start the healing process by creating new collagen, blood vessels, and skin cells in the process. And just to pause for a second, and side note, side thought, think about how excited we get when we decide to buy a cream that has growth factors for the surface of our skin. Well, with PRF, platelet rich fibrin, you're actually encouraging growth factors within the skin. And also, they are your own growth factors. So how do they pull fibrin? PRF is taken from your own blood. Prior to treatment, 1 vial of blood is drawn, and then that blood is placed into what's called a centrifuge, where I believe they spin it around and it helps separate the fibrin from the blood. After spinning that in the centrifuge, the PRF is harvested from the top of the vial into a syringe. So that's just what happened to me when I went to BevelUp for PRF. These 2 times I've done it, they drew blood and they ended up taking that vial of blood, having it spun out and separating that before injecting it in my under eyes. It's also very interesting to know that you can actually use this technology for hair loss, which is really interesting. Surprisingly enough, when I had my blood drawn for the first time and separated, and that fibrin separated, I was told that I actually had a lot of fibrin. And Maria shared with me that's often attributed to a healthy diet, especially one with healthy fats. So I have avocados often. I also take fish oil daily, and I really attribute that to why I have so much fibrin apparently, which is great because it ends up being that I think that the treatment ends up going so much further for those that have more fibrin than those that don't. I mean, it seems like it makes sense, but now if you struggle with needles, this may be tough because it is not comfortable, but it's not so uncomfortable that I was nervous to go in for round 2. It's just uncomfortable. So once you survive the treatment, it's recommended that you avoid makeup for 24 to 48 hours after the treatment. You also shouldn't exercise for 24 to 48 hours post-procedure. And you also want to try to sleep upright on your back at night to prevent swelling. And as you'll see here, I probably didn't do such a good job sleeping on my back because I did swell a good amount. You just probably want to plan to get this done on, say, a Friday, so by Monday it's not too bad. Just work it out that way. So how many treatments do you need and how long does it last? Ideally, you would have a series of treatments and you would space them out 6 to 8 weeks apart. Now, everyone is different, especially based on the amount of treatments they're gonna need. I've already had 2, and I could see myself doing another 2 within the next year, really as a way to maintain and also prevent thinning skin. The immediate results typically last 1 to 3 weeks, and the volume will essentially dissipate over time. Long-term effects, which we're after, of course, such as skin tightening, collagen production, and enhanced skin quality, may take up to 3 to 4 months to be noticed and can last from 6 to 12 months. Let's talk about the pros and cons. So the pros, the plasma comes from your own body, so there's little risk of negative reaction. Side effects are typically mild, with just a few days of bruising, swelling, and redness at the injection site. And of course, this treatment can help regenerate the skin. The cons, as with any injection, you may have some soreness and inflammation at the injection site, just as I did. Another big con is that the results aren't permanent. You likely would need to maintain this by going twice a year, which can get really expensive. But for me and for the natural aging progression I'm shooting for, this is much more appealing to me than it is to get filler ongoing. I know sometimes getting these procedures can be a little bit intimidating and you may have a lot of questions. If you do, please be sure to comment below. I just about guarantee I will respond to your question because I know how helpful it can be. I also have a video that I would recommend you watch also around the Morpheus 8 laser, which is a radio frequency plus microneedling technology. It's also something I love, but you got to be aware of. You need maintenance treatments. It's not a one and done. Gravity is a powerful thing. So with that, I hope to see you on the next video. I hope you subscribe, hope you like, hope. Follow me on Instagram. Really appreciate you watching. Thanks so much.